Alright, what's up? I'm gonna show you guys Necropolis. Okay, so first thing is you're gonna notice right away there's all these phase spiders. For the most part, phase spiders don't see invis. Notable drops is just the carapace, which is a decent breastplate that is tradable. For the most part, though, the AC is too low for it to be good for anybody. It's too heavy for a monk. It's more of a twink item. Alright, so I'm going to be showing you first how to get the Zlandikar. To the left is actually down to the payable area and the goo area. So if you're looking to farm res goos, or even if you want to do payables, Neb spawns down there. He's a 3-day spawn. He can they can drop a payable warbone. Neb's warbone's actually quested. It's just a decent one-hand blunt item that procs bone melt, which is like ignite bones, and it turns an NPC into a skeleton. Now, a big thing here is we see that phase spider, he sees invis. We're going to go around him. Alright, so I'm approaching the Jaladar Shade area. So, two things. So there is a trap around here with swarmlings, which are a bunch of little fucking scarabs that just hit really hard and fast. Low HP though, they're best AoE down. They can drop, I believe it's Swarm Pincers, which is a very quick one-hand slash weapon. I believe it's like 10-18 or something. Great ratio. The only issue with it is it's not a magical sword. I'm going to try and spawn the trap for you. At least on live, there was a trap like right around here with it. I don't know if they've actually put that in yet. Anyhow, in this room is actually, you can see that dragon. That's Jaladar. The lore is, I believe, Emperor Chotel, not Chotel, Gonic in Trakanon's Teeth was one who killed him and banished him. For all intents and purposes, he's the hardest mob in Velious, but, there's no point to kill him. His main function is, just turning in your talismans for Sleeper's Tomb Keys. So, one thing about Jaladar, just real quick, I did mention he's the hardest mob in Velious. I don't know what version we have of him here, but if you've ever fought Arklich and Shisara, he's just like a rampage machine. He just rampages like crazy. So this is the second area here. It's more phase spider. To your left, there's actually a trap that spawns a dragon construct. I've already moved it to the back area, which is that building ahead. The thing about dragon constructs is that they corpse camp, and they just don't go away, and they see invis, so they're kind of a pain in the dick if you do spawn them. The trick is, if you got a circlet of shadows, you just you let it attack you, and you just fucking spam that thing, and you'll be set. There is a rare spawn in this area. It's not up right now. It's a level 62 phase spider. It's Queen Raltis. It probably drops the best droppable BP in the game. It's like 75 HP, bunch of other decent stats. I gotta change my push to talk. I keep disbanding. It's fucking up mouse movement. In that back area, like down over there where I'm running the mouse, that is a bunch of Chitaris, which are, one of the rat factions here. You have your Palebas and your Chitaris that are at war. It's also got a lava tunnel that leads down to the Chitaris. It's a pretty worthless area. You really don't need to spend any time. Alright, so this is the Mean Bones. This is the first Chitari area we're approaching. Um, most of them don't see invis, which is beneficial. There is a trap right around here. Again, those swarm pincer dudes. which they just tear you up. But for some reason, I'm not proccing the trap. Alright, one thing about rats I just want to go over. Alright, back. But one thing I want to go over with rats real quick is you'll notice they often have weapons, and the thing is you can look at this weapon and you know it's the shitty Velium weapons. The Valium weapons are basically fine steel with a 12-point DD proc. Now, a lot of times they'll have a Velious graphic, which is, the potential good weapons. Chalky's there can drop a one-hand slash that is 919 strong disease. Very good tanking weapon. I'm gonna go find you some Valium weapons. So the main Chitauri area is coming up on the left. Right here is also a trap right there. That spawns another dragon construct. Again, we just want to avoid those for now. Chitauri start off KOS, but, I'm a fucking Shadow Knight. I'm not gonna, aggro shit. Alright. So I just want to show you this area real quick. So not too much there. I'll be just showing you the main town in a few. And that's where you're most likely going to find Vanicky. There's 4 spots for Vanicky. Back here, this area, this is actually a drop down from above. So at least on live, what you could do is you could drag all the Payables to the Chitauris, and they would go at war with one another in terms of like the NPCs would attack one another. Now, that's pretty beneficial because you can power level like crazy with that. Because, if an NPC is killing another NPC, you only need to deal the killing blow to get EXP and to loot. So you are actually able to, do things like potentially solo Vanicky if you do that. So just more areas, This is the main town here. This is generally where you're going to find your names. You have names for quests like Mask of War and things like a Will Sapper. Really, C and Viswise, you mostly just got to watch out for the names for those. So this is a Valium weapon right here. You can tell by the graphic. It could be a really good one. That's, just the fine steel with the proc right there, not a Valium weapon. Nothing here Valium-wise. I mean, this area is a pretty decent farming area. You got to keep in mind the main point of farming Velious is, at least zones like this, is for armor gems. So you're not only getting that, but you're also getting that on top of, a decent shot at tradable weapons. So that's a shit one. You can tell it looks like fine steel. It is fine steel, basically. It's just the Valium version. Over here should probably be a named. Let me check. Usually one of the Mask of War or other names will spawn around here. Okay, so you see that spear? That's a Valium spear. That's money. There we go. We got a named. So named C and Viz. They're level 60. They're usually for quests. You can see him carrying some too. But I'm not gonna go in there and aggro. Alright, so I'm gonna take you back to where I came from and just show you how to get to Zelanikar, because that's really the most important thing. Zelanikar's area is gonna have potentially Vanicky. There's the spot for Vanicky and Vilefang. Vilefang is for the Crown of the Fallenkin, which is probably gonna be a very hot item in terms of people questing it. You could also see that lance across there. New graphic, new weapon. That's pretty good. That's gonna be worth some money. Another back area here. And there's another name. This one doesn't see invis though. If you ever see a staff with a skull on it, that's I mean, I don't see one here, but that's a Chitauri Ward staff. It's kind of useless, but it procs knockback, so it's pretty cool. I mean, up here, where that worker is, that's another spot for Vanicky. Vanicky obviously being the Will Sapper dropper. Alright, so this is about where I came from. I'll actually get to the actual ramp. So, unlike the Chitauris, we're about to approach an area. The bats, the carry-on bats, will actually sometimes see invis. Normally I'd have Spirit of the Wolf, but, you know, I'm so fucking baller, I don't need that shit. Alright. So this is the ramp we came from that one area above. And so you'd be going right to Zlandikar. So this is where I gotta start actually conning stuff. Um, that's pretty weird. Usually there's a bunch of bats here. I mean, I don't know the difference between this and live, but should be some bats. And again, I should be seeing a lot more bats. The big takeaway here is Zlandikar, it's pretty easy to get to him without aggroing a thing. I remember I'd always have to drag people, and it's just like, come on, you know? You just fucking put up invis. So, this is Zlandikar's area. Two things I want to point out. Behind the waterfall, Vanicky can often be there. Vanicky sees invis. Vanicky fucks shit up. Down here, usually get serpents. Vilefang's usually around here. He can also spawn near Zlandy too. Vilefang, as I mentioned before, is one of the probably the bottleneck for the Circular of the Fallenkin part. You know, that's gonna be fucking money. Alright, so a lot of times you'll just see Vanicky chilling right fucking here. It's one of the potential name spots for him. You can also be up there. Yep, actually there's Vanicky right there. So, Vanicky's KOS and Vanicky Season Viz. Now I don't know. Oh, Zlandikar should not be threateningly. That's just an error of the server. Zlandikar should start off as indifferent to everyone. He gives out a quest for Neb's head. He is actually not on Payable or Chitauri faction, whereas he's probably on Chitauri faction on this server right now. Keep in mind this is still beta. Zlandikar is his own faction though. But here's Vanicky. So Vanicky's a Necro. You can see the Will Sapper in him. I don't want to, you know what, fuck it, I'll aggro Vanicky. I'm bound in the zone. I can gate. Like, I don't really give a fuck. Uh, the big thing I want to show you is Vanicky fucking corpse camps. Or he should. Meaning, or she should. If you drag Vanicky to zone in, Vanicky's going to stay at zone in and just slaughter everyone. Better yet, if you drag Vanicky in front of Jawadar Shade death touches, and it is social with Vanicky. So, if you're looking to grief people, you just bring Vanicky to Jawadar Shade, and, you know, everybody who's going to stroll by is going to get death touched. Yeah. So, I'm going to show you Zlandikar. Ideally, you can wall his, you know, AoE. He rampages. Overall, he's a bitch, though. Pretty easy dragon. Easy as Sleeper's Tomb Key dropper. I don't know why he's KOS on this server. I'm just gonna head back up. If I aggro, I aggro. I don't really care, but that's something I'll have to check with the devs if they intend for Zlandikar to be on Chitauri faction and or KOS, and whether or not Vanity's utilizing all 4 spawn points. One of the EQ devs came out and revealed Vanity spawn a couple years ago, so we actually have the full information on it. Again, there's even less C-Invis mobs on beta on the way to Zlan than there were on live. Generally, the server tries to make things more difficult. That is not the case here. Again, a trick is if you do have C-Invis, you just mash your. There's some bad. Getting a little bit of lag here. Yeah, you just mash your C-Invis or Circular Shadow, and it's close to an instant cast. So as long as you're not chain mashing it, and you just do it every so often, you can just travel anywhere you want with C-Invises because they won't social. Alright, so we're headed back up. The last thing I want to go over in this zone is just Rescue farming. Might show you some other thing real quick too. Fraps is clearly lagging me quite a bit. If it reduces my FPS so fucking well. Yep. So this is the other last area I want to show you guys. So this is just kind of like a lava area. I forget which Chitauri named. I think all 4 of them. Vanity doesn't spawn here, but some of the other ones can, like Dustbinders and whatnot, and War Master. Again, I mean, those items, they're decent, but the thing is, Cal is set up where you can do a difficult quest for the item where you could just, kill the NPC and take the item. So something like a Mask of War, which would be quested through here, it's like, why not just fucking kill the NPC and get it? It's a lot easier. So the other area I'm going to bring you to is, I mentioned before, the Puebla area. Now, again, I don't think we're supposed to start off as KOS to Puebla. It's like they're actually considered like the quote-unquote good guys. But for some reason, right now, initial faction is KOS for Pueblas. So right here, I might proc the trap. It looks like this guy might have procced it already, because, I don't know why you'd be dying down here. But there is a trap, like right around here. I think it's actually right in this corner. That's swarmlings. They, just tiny little beetles that, fuck shit up. Alright, so I'm actually just going to show you real quick how big of a pain in the ass dragon constructs can be and how you deal with them. So how I dealt with the one that was pre-spawn when I got here, because they have a fairly large aggro range, I just move them to some area where it's like, you can chill there, no one's going to go there. Or, if you want a grief, you just plant them somewhere else. Should be right here, yep. Here he comes, watch this shit. He's got a big ass aggro range. Oh, his line of sight's blocked, but I wish I had south so I could show you guys the fucking, trick, but down there, like I said, that lava pit, that brings you to where those guys were. Shit. Later, again, these are all KOS, but as long as I just strafe away and mash Circular Shadow, even if he hits me, I'm invising before shit reaggrates. Well, this son of a bitch doesn't want to leave me alone, so I got an idea. So you can tell based on his level, or based on what they hit, you can always tell level. This particular spider is level 53. It doesn't apply to everything in Velious like it pretty much did in Kunark, but equation is basically at level 40, NPCs hit for 100. As you move up, each level from 40, their max damage goes up 5. So 40, go to 45, 5 times 4. Oh, shit. It goes up 4, my bad, not 5. Hit for 120. Then at 50, they hit for 140. That fucker was fast. I don't know how I'm snared. So he hit for 152 max, which, means that he's level 53. Fuck it, we're taking him with us. Now, you gotta be careful because Jaladar is social with the Chitauri. So his ass will death touch you as you go past him. Also, if you certain illusion will cause you to be KOS'd. So, like Boon of the Garu, it's an enchanter spell. It gives like a life tap proc. It also turns you into a werewolf, which luckily that means Jaladar's gonna death touch your ass if you're near him. Alright, so this is the last area I'm gonna go over. This is not really used. I'll go over why. So, coming up, the quest isn't in the game yet, but it's called the Spirit of the Garzakor quest. God damn, how the fuck is this? He's traveling through goddamn wall. That's the other two. So it's the Spirit of the Garzakor quest. It's an okay ring for casters, a pretty shitty two-hander for melee, and monks and priests actually get a really good earring from it, so they're usually the ones who do it. Long fucking quest with a lot of trade skills. Go figure. But lore-wise, it's one of the best quests in the game, in my opinion. So it looks like this spider not only corpse camps, but he also travels through the wall. Pathing with this particular spider does not appear to be the best either. Yeah, having saw would be nice. So this is the Garzakor quest area. You basically stand right on by that skull and you say something like, "You are two, but you are one. Something must be undone." I don't know. And then 2 items spawn. You just fucking pick them up and you go on your merry way. Hoping to feign out of line of sight of this guy. It's a lot harder to strafe around corners when my fucking push to talk key is my strafe key. There we go. Okay, so this area coming up, so you got your serpents. So if you're looking for like a wrapped entropy serpent spine that's more relevant on red, it's a weapon that procs blind. Pretty fucking good. Right here, you got your entropy serpents. They also proc that on you though, so if you're fighting them, just be ready for blind. So 2 things. We got our goo. Goos initially are very good. Two things they drop a instant click root goo. I forget if it's instant click. Nothing on the nets, but they drop a res goo, which is the level 39 cleric resuscitate, which is 50%. This is really good. So you can use that to basically res people for Plane of Mischief. If you're going to drag people there, or, Sleeper's Tomb, if you're just dragging straight to Warders. So I mentioned earlier about a tunnel from Puebla to Chitauri. That's right here. So what we used to do online was we would go and pull all the Pueblos. You definitely want, Spirit of the Wolf for that, since they are usually Spirit of the Wolf themselves from the Shaman NPCs. And you just run them down to the Chitauris and start a war. You bring them to that town of Chitauris, and you just start poaching mobs as they're low on HP. And it's tons of EXP, tons of loot. Yeah, pretty good. I mean, you can even do shit like solo Vanicky. Vanicky does have crazy regen though and procs the life taps, but other than that, like, you get enough Chitauris, you're good to go. Vanicky does will die. So Pueblos, this is the Puebla area. This area is fucking nuts. There's tons of casters, everything's Spirit of the Wolf, and it's super condensed. I do not recommend going here. Shit will see invis and I will die, I almost guarantee it, but I'm going to show you it anyway. So you see how he's moving fast? He's Spirit of the Wolf. Everything from here on out is Spirit of the Wolf. This area is a fucking death trap. Okay, what's good is they don't see invis. Now there's also, there is a name, Puebla, who always wields two spears. The good spears, his name's Pierre. He is one of the rare NPCs in this game. Neb is over here, and he does have a pet rat. And Neb is fucking a beast. There's really no reason to kill him, since you can lockpick to Jaladar. There's Neb, and why he's KOS? I don't know, man. He should not be KOS. He should have a pet. I'm just gonna die because I need to heal my mana anyways, but yeah, Neb is fucking... He's flurrying, he's in for 285, and the big issue this area is you got tons of pathers, and it's just super condensed. Everything's Spirit of the Wolf, they'll start to fucking run away. It's honestly just a death trap, and everything's summoned. There's no reason to be down there. Well, that concludes Dragon Necropolis, so peace.